I will now call the June 1st, 2015 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and then I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I want to welcome those in attendance, those who might listen to the audio at a later time, tonight's City Council meeting. The next item is the consent agenda. Are there items that need to be pulled? If not, I accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Quibell?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, I'm going to open the public hearing on the next three items, and we're going to continue that by the request of the applicant until the next council meeting, which is now scheduled for July 20th.
We've got the CIP listed June 15th. There's 3 public hearings.
Oh, this one.
Yes, that one's going to go to June
Okay.
15th.
The one on the capital improvement program will be continued to June 15th, but the other two, items 5 and 6, will be continued to July 20th.
So moved, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't think there's even need for a motion to do
There's
it,
not. Okay.
according to our legal counsel.
Send that motion.
So consider it continued. Next, we have a discussion of the CDBG Annual Action Plan.
All right, thank you, Your Honor and Councilman. Again, this is part 2 of 3 public discussion meetings in advance of publishing the draft annual action plan for this upcoming fiscal year, 2015-2016. Last council meeting, I appreciate the discussion and feedback and direction. Staff has gone back and kind of drilled down, looked at a few dollar figures for some of these potential projects. We also did have conversation with those who were, I guess, added to the present fiscal year for public services, and that was Hope House and Community Services League. That's what was handed out just before the meeting. To you are some letters of request from both of those groups requesting consideration for funding for this upcoming fiscal year and inclusion in the annual action plan. So kind of that's in addition to what you see before you with this item and also on the screen there. Did want to walk through some of the dollar figures. As you know, there's always a larger pot of projects and there is a larger pot of funds available. So that's where the difficult decisions start coming in terms of where the city would like to head with utilizing the, I guess, rather small amount of funds in relation to the projects that are being considered. Wanted to mention here, looking for it here, the amount, and maybe Mike can help me with that. I don't see it on here, but the amount being considered for this next year. So pull that up here.
I have it at 217,802.
Thank you, Councilman. Beat me to it. Yes, exactly. 217,807. So that is the total that we're working with. You can see some of the different projects that are being considered. Majority of those, again, are what we call public facilities or infrastructure. Survey of right-of-way for Main Street, I guess in preparation for future projects related to that, looking at approximately $100,000. That, I should note, surveying, those types of activities cannot be more than a certain amount, correct?
Correct. If that's a standalone project, if we say the project is.
Oh, sure, yes.
And build it, then it can be part of it.
It can be part of the project, but if we are just going to do surveying, for example, and then do the project outside of CDBG funds, there's a cap that would be much less than the $100,000. So I guess the point is $100,000 would be the first step into the pool, as it were. And should the city commit to that, then we'd have to continue moving forward with that project in a larger scale. So we'd have to look at some larger numbers than just the $100,000. But that's kind of the first piece that would go with that project. Downtown master plan update. I know that was discussed the last city council meeting. This is just estimates based on other planning projects that we've done recently. 150,000 to 225. Again, that could eat up the whole budget or carry over into a couple of years. Northwest Summit sidewalk, that too, $188,000, is in excess of what is available when you take out such things as first-time homebuyers program, as you see there, and the minor home repair program. We talked about those numbers last time, which again look at $89,000. So you take that out of that funding, you're still looking at much less. I can actually pull that up here too. Let me jump around here. Bear with me. This is what was shown last time. So for example, we include as well the Downtown Live contribution of $10,000. You have about $118,000 remaining. So kind of keep that number in mind as we look at some of these dollar figures. $118,000, again, not enough to do a master plan per se, not quite enough to do sidewalks. There is some funding that we could pull out for the downtown facade program. We didn't include that last time. We did not have, we had a few applicants that have utilized that beyond just the kind of one-time project with the Community America Bank, but is that right? Thank you. With the bank building, but there's also, we had awnings with, that you'll see actually coming forward here shortly from Pizza Shop. And we also already have the Inklings bookstore. So those have utilized the facade improvement program for downtown, but no others have really come forward with that. So we didn't include that last time, but we do want to mention that this time, that if there's a possibility of expanding that program, especially geographically beyond just the boundaries of the immediate downtown retail core, there's an opportunity that perhaps we want to consider some additional funding. We just threw $30,000 in there as, again, just a placeholder, something for discussion. So the numbers we did not identify in terms of funding weren't very much discussion on it last time. Downtown wayfinding signage is an option. Really depends on the scope of what we want to do with that in terms of how the costs would lay out. Strategic acquisition or demolition of property, again, really depends on where and how much that would include. And then support of Downtown Live projects, which again could allocate some additional funds above and beyond just the $10,000. So with that, again, want to present these two letters. Staff to go back, have a conversation with Community Services League and Hope House, and requested that they provide a little bit more written summary of what they would like to do should they be able to receive funding and actually make more of a formal request before you. So that's why you have the letters here before you tonight. Again, the next meeting is another opportunity to review these. So certainly don't want you to just have to race through these letters and start making decisions tonight necessarily, especially in regards to these public service opportunities. But again, we do have another meeting June 15th where that can be discussed. So again, staff is not necessarily recommending funding for those two groups. That was kind of the conversation we had based on the feedback we got at the last meeting here before you, really looking primarily, as you can see, at kind of infrastructure projects, kind of going back to that original intent especially regarding downtown. So more of the public facilities infrastructure side of things, yet still retaining some of those programs that have been in place for a number of years. Mine home repair, first-time home buyers, and then also the funding given to the last several years to Downtown Live. So, again, with that, I'll just kind of stop with staff comments at this point and see if we have any feedback or direction once more.
Questions or comments, direction, Councilman Levesey.
Scott, this is one of my favorite games. What can CDBG funds be used for? There was just some discussion recently from the communication side, a concept of providing essentially free Wi-Fi service, maybe just the downtown corridor. Is something like that, is it enough infrastructure that could be used, that CDBG funds could be used within the district outline, because downtown falls within that?
There is actual precedence. There are some downtowns that installed Wi-Fi in their downtown for that reason.
And these funds could theoretically be used for that purpose.
Yes.
I know we have no idea of cost or anything yet, but I just wondered if that was even something like that was possible.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll vet a few things with you. Maybe before the next meeting, we can go over
Okay.
some of those ideas and find some cost structure and that sort of thing.
Very good. No, appreciate the feedback and direction. Again, with the downtown revitalization, there's a lot that kind of can fall under that umbrella, which is why I kind of brought back before you tonight the option with that facade improvement program as well.
Councilman Corbell?
I just wanted you to be aware I'm supportive of that too.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing none? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Again, we'll be back June 15th. At that point, we will need to move forward with, I guess, a resolution, publishing the draft annual action plan. So there's still opportunity to have discussion. It's just a draft at that point still. It can be in this, these types of numbers and format just to obtain feedback from the public. And so there's still opportunity to do that.
It's a formal comment period that's
Right.
required by HUD. So.
And again, we'll come back then August 3rd, I believe. August 3rd, first meeting in August to actually formally adopt that draft to turn it over to HUD. So there's some opportunity here to still have some discussion, and we'll come back before you again at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Wow, that brings us to mayoral announcements. 3 things. First is today was the first day for buying tickets for the St. Jude's Dream Home down on the shores in Chapman's Farm. And as usual, like we did last year, Councilman Dale Carter and KFKF and 6 Degrees West and Taco Bell and everybody else was at the Price Chopper North today to kick that off, and I did buy the first ticket again. I hope I have better luck with it this year than I did last year. But it's not so much winning the house or the car or all those things. It's the purpose for it, and that's to support children at that hospital. So that's the main purpose. And we want to thank Councilman Carter for his involvement in KFKF. The Paul Splittorff Annual Memorial Golf Tournament was today. Last year they raised $45,000, and those dollars were spent at St. Mary's Manor. And Lynn talked about today is there going to be an ongoing effort to continue to raise money with some other opportunities at St. Mary's Manor. So anyway, another good opportunity. Most of you should have gotten an email from the chief today because the Attorney General's report came out on racial profiling, which is legislation I was involved in when I was in the House of Representatives. And we just had a great report from Blue Springs. It's kind of setting the bar. It's for how you should be doing things. And Chief, you want to elaborate on that briefly? The Empower Group, people who has been in contact with us even prior to this report coming out. I went through trying to count the number of times Blue Springs was mentioned as an example on things we're doing right. And I think I at least came up with 10 times Blue Springs. I guess we're okay. Blue Springs was mentioned in that report in a good way, in a positive way. And I know that you did an interview, and I don't know if it was on the 6 o'clock news, but I said.
Some of them was on Channel 5.
Okay.
Empower Missouri
David, you got it?
Empower Missouri is a group out of Columbia, and it's a citizens-based group who has been working probably for the past 6 months to study the issues of stops and their appropriateness. And one of the things that they have come across is that they find that the consent search part of the data is very important. Typically what happens, as much as half of the time, police officers stop a vehicle, they don't know the person in it. They don't necessarily know their race, their gender, or anything about that person. They see a car in violation, and so they stop them. So that measure is one thing. Once you get someone stopped, whether you search them or not, and you're in a face-to-face situation, is something that you directly have an ability to do that. So Empower Missouri has studied the search rate in addition to the stop rate, and they found a very good report for us. Ours were very equal, and we do an extensive amount of training so that our officers are prepared to handle things appropriately, and we're very proud of that rate from that standpoint.
Well, you know, I oftentimes tell people that to avoid situations that you've had in other cities, you have to be proactive, and you've done that. You have Dr. Emmanuel Gompsey comes and other trainers, you come and we train. I think by us being proactive, having a Public Safety Citizens Advisory Board, having an HRC, having a Citizens Police Academy, having community policing, where the police officers are in the neighborhoods on bicycles, and I think all those things add to us being a community that rates so highly when they come in and do studies like that. And my hat's off to you and your police department.
Thank you very much.
Yep. That brings us to Thoughts to Ponder. Tonight comes from Amos Alonzo Stagg, and I quote, "No coach ever won a game by what he knows. It's what his players have learned." End quote. So true. Don't have any visitors' appearance forms, so we will go to our city attorney to cite a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the appropriate motion would be to move that this body go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.0211 for confidential communications between the public body and its attorney and to discuss litigation, that the records and votes taking place therein be closed, and that this body stand adjourned at the end of such session.
Is there who so moved that?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have to roll call this one? Go ahead and roll call.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Quibell?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
We're going to take about a 5-minute break to allow our visitors to be excused, and then we will go into executive session.